told, just so you know, I know someone who knows stuff at Marvel, who occasionally tells me things. So here's what I know.
Oh, I'm curious.
In the 5th and 6th episode, there is going to be an event which will affect the Marvel universe overall. This is in the last 2 episodes, so I haven't seen it, right? This coincides with the Marvels coming out, which is really interesting, right? So apparently this event is going to occur, which will affect everything in the Marvel universe, where we can finally see where everything is going. But it happens in the last 2 episodes. This is what I'm told. This person also told me that of the Marvels, the character of Photon kind of steals the movie from.
So basically, this is how they're going to push the Marvels. Going to be like, oh, you want to see what happened after Loki? You need to go see the Marvels.
Right. It is a, a cataclysmic event that happens that's just going to affect everything. The whole Marvel universe will be affected by this thing that happens in the final episode.
It's interesting how it threads that way, because if Disney had their own way, the Marvels movie would have come out before Loki season 2.
Yes, I don't know. So I think it comes out just as it ends. If you look at the
I think it's Tom, you're saying it's early November, right? So
only 6 episodes. Yeah. So it should coincide with the Marvels coming out. So look, I was not told. I don't know what the event is. I also haven't seen it. I've only seen through episode 4, but just telling you what I mean, just like, again, Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm do not know how to make television. They just don't.
They also don't know how to make movies. Have you heard the 2 audience test score numbers for the Marvels and then the reshoot Marvels?
I have not. I'd love to hear it.
Script, do share.
Yes, I've heard from some reliable people that the first version of the Marvels scored 30 out of 100. Wow. And they went back and reshot it, and it scored 28 out of 100.
So it's gone down.
So yes. that does represent a change, though.
It does. Yes, it absolutely does represent a change.
Plus, I heard they cut it down from like 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 40 minutes down to 1 hour and 40 minutes.
It is now it will be the shortest Marvel movie ever released.
It is also the lowest scoring Marvel movie on the audience, because it scored below Eternals.
Wow.
Well, I'm just wondering whether at some point executives got together and said, wow, if we intertwine all our theatrical releases and all our streaming releases and intertwine stories, then that's going to enhance audiences to watch all this stuff. And I think what's the problem is that the complete opposite is happening. It's like comic books. You want to keep an ongoing story within that set of comic books. You don't always want, the Fantastic Four stuff to, fully bleed into Thor or something, although they've done that. This strategy has been a disaster.
Yeah, 100%.
What's strange is Chris also mentioned that, in service of what you said, Paul, that you have to have seen something to appreciate this film. Yeah, I think
Star Wars. Look at they've done exactly the same thing with Star Wars as they've done with Marvel. And so my thought is this must have been a plan. Mm-hmm. They shouldn't have polluted both. TV should have been TV. The movie should have been movies. And
that was the problem. I've said that before too. Yeah, because before this, the way it was set up was S.H.I.E.L.D., for instance, would be affected by the movies, but S.H.I.E.L.D. could not affect the movies at all whatsoever. That way they didn't have to worry about anything crossing, boundaries of being a problem. That all changed and went out the window as soon as Disney Plus became a thing, and Kevin Feige was now in control of both Marvel television shows and the movies. And at that point, everything had to become uniformed. And then KK herself said that we have to do over at Star Wars what Kevin's been doing over at Marvel, and that means make everything must see. So that's exactly what they're doing. They're conforming to this idea that if you connect everything, that it will force the audience to have to watch everything, no matter how shitty it is. But now they're slowly learning that no, the audience will just not waste their time anymore on this stuff, especially the general audience. They don't have patience for this nonsense.
Well, let me put it another way, because I think this is a little more succinct. This is a bastardization of their understanding of what synergy was back in the old days at Disney. Yeah, and I think that they're really trying to lean into this vertical integration, and that you have to come here to see all your media, and they're losing just giant chunks of their audience all at the same time. So, like I said, Paul, you were on to something 100% there.
And am I still crackling?
No, actually, you're fine. I think it has to do with the volume. I think you were right on with that last night.
I think I keep the mic away from me.
If anything, I think you need to just cut the gain a little bit on your mic, and that might help.
I've cut the gain some more. How's that?
I mean, you sound like you're a little far away, but other than that, you sound fine.
Now
Suck the microphone, bro.
That's an SM58. You kind of have to eat the microphone.
Eat the mic, baby.
Yeah, that's the thing, is the more louder you get, that's when the clicking kicks in.
There
But anyway, it's not as bad as it was. You're fine for now.
Good. Thank you.
But yeah, I haven't seen this Loki shit yet.
Well, I mean, it's too bad. I mean, I obviously believe Chris, but I was feeling positive about this first episode, season 2, and I saw some elements of change, but it looks like it will be dashed on the shoals of disappointment.
Yeah. And how do you know I didn't, Beard of Power?
And I thought that it was a step up from season 1, at least so far. So we'll see how this turns out. But learning, as we just did from Mr. Gore here, that it would appear to be connected to the Marvels, that lessens my excitement greatly.
Well, that's only a theory, because the end of there is a cataclysmic, this is what I'm told, a cataclysmic event that happens in the last 2 episodes that affects the entirety of the Marvel universe, and then Loki season 2 is wrapping up the same time as the Marvels is coming out. So I'm just that's a guess on my part. The only thing I do know is that event is happening in the last 2 episodes, which I have not seen. So there you go. And this is someone I know who knows. So there you go.
Yeah, no,
and the other episodes that you've seen didn't have that Dirk Gently, a holistic detective kind of vibe that they pulled off in the first episode of this season.
I guess it kind of has that. Yeah. It's just not working for me. So.
Yeah, and the fact that his script said it's not Loki. Like
he's right. It's not Loki. It's not the Loki we know. It's
absolutely not Loki.
It's a completely different character. It feels like
he's a weeb.
Yeah.
I would like to see more of Obi. I thought his character was interesting. He reminded me of like Mr. Scott for Marvel. He has a lot of engineering knowledge, and he might actually be the only character that didn't get his mind wiped prior to the change between Kang and the 3 pseudo rulers of the TVA. Seems like.
Yeah.
I think that none of you are going to get what you want. I think none of us are going to get what we want. And I have a feeling that this is going to be just as dismal a failure as Ahsoka, if not worse. And if everything script is saying is true, and if Chris is accurate, and this feeds directly into Marvel's, we may actually have the complete collapse and failure of Marvel Disney, and they will have to go back to the drawing board. And boy, wouldn't that be wonderful? Man, that's a weird way to say that.
They're probably at the drawing board right now, but having arguments over which direction to go.
Well, they already know what's going on.
Too. And also, you know what? I think that this season right here, I think that Mr. Chato, I think that you were right, because it is a different writer and different showrunner on this one. I think that there is some level of they've already been to the drawing board, given that they're bound by season 1. They can't depart from it completely. But when you look at what they did there compared to at least the first episode here, how this one is decidedly more Dirk Gently, I do believe that this episode or this season represent as much of a course correction they could get away with at the time.
Yeah.
And they're probably thinking about even more course corrections right now as we speak. That would be my hunch.
I think they should mix.
They fucking better be.
The Star Wars
better be.
universe with the Marvel universe. I think that's what they should do.
Yeah.
Sorry, mix what with the Marvel universe?
Star Wars, they should bring in Ahsoka and Loki together. I think that would be fabulous.
Patton Oswalt already pitched that in an episode of Parks and Recreation.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
That was a great. You can find just the Patton Oswalt rant on YouTube.
Yes, you can.
I will never listen to Patton Oswalt again. After he apologized for the Christmas picture with Chappelle. I'm never going to listen to that piece of shit again.
Yeah, that was stupid.
What a gutless, worthless human being.
This clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 AM Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe and join us.